Okay.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your friendly neighborhood ghost Exodus from Diary of a Threat Actor, and with me we have Crazy C. Hey, what's up, Crazy C?
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm all right. All right. So I don't really do podcasts, and so I'm just kind of like I don't even know like what a crash course of podcasting looks like. So I'm just gonna wing this and just see what happens when we just do it organically. All right. So, anyways.
No script. No script.
No scripts. The gloves are
Real,
coming off.
live,
It's real.
raw, and uncut. Yeah, no
Right.
filter.
Okay, so like the reason why I wanted to invite you, and I'm waiting for our other guest to appear. Hopefully he'll be able to, is because on Friday, June 26th, 2009, at 11 p.m., which was 14 years ago on this very day, I was arrested, and it changed the entire trajectory of my life to this very hour. I would not even be sitting here with you today if that hadn't happened. So here we are. um,
Yeah,
and like what's crazy is, um, you know, being ripped from the social simulation, torn from society, taken away from your wife, your kids, your parents, your family, and everything you ever loved or ever known, torn from that and put in a completely different reality that is like not even comparable. It's very psychologically and even like emotionally jarring. It's you get like psychological whiplash. And so I did like 11 years as the first person in recent U.S. history for corrupting industrial control systems. Yeah, and it like changed the entire like my entire life. And so I've brought you here because we're both convicted computer hackers, and the goal of this talk is to kind of like focus on what it was like for the first time, like for computer related crime being taken out of the real world and put into a freaking cage for years. Like that traumatic effect, if you had a traumatic effect, and then what it's been like trying to rebuild your life from nothing after
right.
spending all that time in a freaking cage with maniacs.
Yeah.
Right.
And then not having to turn yourself into a maniac.
And trying not to become a maniac.
It was, it's a tank full of sharks.
Hmm.
You either a big shark or a little shark.
That's true. All right. So I don't know what your criminal history is prior to that, and we're not going to even touch on that because it won't be relevant. It might not be relevant. I don't know. But so tell me, like, how did you get arrested? Tell me about that.
Okay, so originally what happened is I got raided by the feds,
Hmm.
and they didn't have a case on me. They just had the dude that lived across the street from us set me up. Bro, I helped the dude out, bro. He couldn't feed his kids. Him and his wife both lost their job. They had 4 kids. So I put them on, bro. And they ended up snitching on me. They were getting shit from me and going right around the corner and giving it to the cops. And so they raided me and then they let me go. And they were like, you'll receive an indictment at a later date because they didn't have a case on me. They were just collecting evidence at the search warrant.
Hmm.
So bam. So then they let me go. So then I went on the run. I was like, yeah, I'm not fucking with these people, bro. So I went on the run, and then about 6 months later, the Secret Service and Dallas SWAT had an 8-hour standoff with Dallas SWAT.
Wait.
And
Hold on. Standoff. Let's talk about the standoff. That's some shit right there. I want to hear about that.
okay, so I had a spot, and my neighbors had told me when I came home that the cops had came there earlier. So I was like, well, fuck this. I'm fucking leaving. Like, what the fucking are the cops doing? Coming to my shit. So I just left and I went to my fucking aunt and cousin's house, the place where my dad grew up and shit. And this chick I was with, I think it was her mom that fucking, I was on top 10 DFW's most wanted by the U.S. Marshals the night before. And she ended up fucking getting a $10,000 reward money for telling them where I was.
Ooh.
And then so the next morning we're fucking cleaning. I'm rolling a blunt, and my cousin's running through the fucking house telling me that the fucking cops are there. So I tell everybody get the fuck out the house. And then I have a fucking 8-hour standoff with Dallas SWAT and the Secret Service.
All right, so yeah, you're gonna have to elaborate on that standoff. Like, so you're holed up in a building. They're surrounding the building with guns, with a whole freaking army, probably.
Bro. 50 cops, bro. 50 fucking SWAT officers, bro. They had the fucking look. This is what they did for one person, bro. One person for fucking a couple $1 million worth of credit card fraud, bro. This is what they did, bro. All
50,
right.
you're 50. That's like 50 cops that were not giving out traffic violations. Holy shit.
Right. Check this out. So first it's the Secret Service. And so I try going out there. I see the Secret Service in the front yard.
I believe this. I know you. I know this is you.
So check this out. My cousin's in here. My cousin's here. She was at her house. Hey, cuz. Watch this shit. Hey, Jay. Hey, when I had the standoff at the house, yeah. How many fucking laws was there?
That was like 50 SWAT there, Nick.
How many?
Like 50 came to the back gate.
Yeah, they cut, bro. So we had an alley on the back of the house. They cut a hole in the fence, bro, and came down the alley. They had the tank in the front yard, bro, with the fucking turn on the front of it, bro. They had the robot on the front porch to throw the phone in through the fucking door, bro. Hey, they fucking brung everything out for one person, bro. There's a hospital across the street. They had snipers on the fucking hospital, bro, for committing $2 million worth of credit card fraud. What the fuck?
So basically, it was like they were trying to assassinate Osama bin Laden for like $2 million.
Yeah, they couldn't even find that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
That's insane. Holy shit balls, bro. That's
insane. So here's the fucking funniest shit ever about these stupid fucking cocksuckers. So I had my main bitch there, my side bitch, my cousin, and that was it. So everybody left. I told everybody to get out the house because I tried going out the back door and I seen Dallas police rolling down the back door, rolling down the alley, and they were like, stop. And I turned around, shut the door, and locked them hoes out too. I put on my fucking bulletproof vest, got my AR-15, and I went on the front porch.
And they didn't shoot. Well,
check this out. No. It was an enclosed front porch. It was a side front porch. It was enclosed. And it had like that netting on it that you could see out, but they can't see in.
Yeah.
And I watched these motherfuckers the whole time. Fucking stupid cocksuckers were sitting fucking paired. They were shooting. That turret that on that tank that they had in the front yard, bro.
Tear gas.
It has like a fucking They were shooting tear gas in that bitch and flashbangs. I didn't see all because the room I was in, they were telling them I was in the back room, but I never went back to the back room. But that's where I slept.
God,
these hoes busted every window, bro. There's like 8 holes in the house where they put tear gas and flashbangs. They didn't know how I was still in that bitch. Hey, I was watching them the whole fucking time. Stupid fucking idiots.
Wow, that's insane. Okay, so let me go from what you just said.
Okay, let me tell you how it ended.
Oh, okay. Tell me.
All right, so after 8 hours, I finally went in the house, and my eyes started burning and shit. So I got some fucking my cousin's big ass sunglasses. You know them big ass sunglasses them chicks be wearing, right? So I put some of them on. I got a sheet and wet the sheet and wrapped that whole around my face and looked like a fucking terrorist. And then I fucking got on the phone and I called my side bitch and she was like, Nathan, you need to chill, you need to calm down, and you need to come out or they're gonna come in and get you. So I kicked the door open and I looked at him because I just had the screen door open. The front door was open the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So bam, I fucking shoot like 10 rounds out the AR-15 into the ceiling, and then bam, like 3 flashbangs come in, and another tear gas canister, and then I call the Secret Service dude because he had a phone in there, and I picked it up and I said there was a negotiator because they didn't know if I still had hostages or not. They thought I still had hostages, and I was like, let me talk to Secret Service Agent Reeves. Secret Service Agent Reeves got on the phone. I was like, man, I don't want to fuck with these Dallas police, bro. They fucking kill people, bro. They had the whole fucking neighborhood blocked off, bro. Like eight blocks. They
All
had the
this
SWAT van.
for scamming cards.
Yeah,
Golly.
yeah. And when they were on the bullhorn, the fucking Dallas SWAT was like, we just want to talk about you about a theft of check. Like I had wrote a hot check one time. And fucking, I was like, they just want to talk to me about that. They were like, I'm not supposed to have guns. I wasn't even a convicted felon. All my guns were in my name. And tell me I can't have guns.
You know, I've talked to hundreds of inmates. And you know, they never send the whole fucking army after pedophiles and child rapists. Why a credit card scammer? What in the actual fuck is that about?
Well, so look, I talked to Secret Service Agent Reeves, and he's like, I tried to get you to surrender earlier so they didn't have to come out. But fucking, and then once he got on the phone, he's like, well, what do you want? I was like, I want to smoke some cigarettes and I want to call my kids. Mm-hmm. He's like, that's all you want? He's like, yeah. I was like, but I don't want to fucking fuck with Dallas police. These hoes will kill me, bro. They're going to kill me.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, you got to come out and surrender to them, and then I'll come and have them surrender you to me immediately. So I came out. And fucking, he was like, man, it's good you came out because they were fixing to come in after you.
Right.
And then fucking, I seen all these fuckers marching around the side of the house, bro, and it was like a fucking parade, bro. It was like a fucking marching band parade. There were so many of them motherfuckers, bro. I was like, what the fuck, bro? And I swear there was like 30 vehicles, bro. 30 vehicles. They had the tank. They had the whole fucking the command center bus that's like fucking two fucking buses put together. It's fucking the command center.
Yeah.
Down at the end of the block. The whole everybody. I grew up in this neighborhood, bro. So I lived in this neighborhood 32 years of my life. So everybody knew me. So everybody was fucking. The whole neighborhood was out there. I come out there like, oh, we love you, Nate. We love you. It was fucking classic, bro. It was classic. Hood certified. The hood loves me. Because you know what I'm saying? Like when I did what I did, bro, it was because I did it because I needed to survive. You know what I'm saying? It's what I knew at the time how to do. You know what I'm saying? So it was a way of making money.
I know.
And, it wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it was right, but at the time in my life, I thought it was the right thing to do because I had kids to take care of and everything, and it was easy money. And once you start making that easy money, it's hard to not, stop, you know what I'm saying? When you're making $5,000 a day, who wants to stop doing that?
I know. What? Let me ask you this. So after all of that happened and experiencing all of that, like, to this day, do you have flashbacks of that? Do you have triggers that cause you to remember that and kind of like transport your mind back in time to that event?
Not that particular event, no.
You're fortunate. That's bad. Oh, I'm glad you don't have to experience that.
No, but I do have flashbacks from prison. Yeah.
I bet you
have like PTSD from prison.
I'm pretty sure you've probably seen some pretty some vicious things that people do in prison to each other.
Well, so that Fed case, I had a state case after that for the same shit.
Yeah.
But my Fed case was I went to Leavenworth.
Now, USP. If I remember correctly, Leavenworth USP was specifically designed for like the mafia military and mafia. Like you're not supposed to be able to break out of it.
Right.
It's like a foolproof fortress.
Yeah. It has a 70-foot wall that's 8 foot thick.
Right.
And it goes 35 feet below ground and 35 feet above ground. They have cables that are like fucking an inch thick all across the yard, so helicopters can't come in and drones and shit.
Right.
And then they fucking have the perimeter car drives on top of the wall, and then there's one that drives around the perimeter too. But you got that you're behind the wall. They call it being behind the wall,
right?
Because you don't see nothing but the wall,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So all you ever see is the wall. And fucking, there's the military camp's about a mile away. It's actually two separate facilities, but Yeah, like when we're on lockdown, we get MREs and shit like that.
Hey, were you there when Butcher was there, or was he there before you? Do you know about Butcher?
That it's ringing a bell, but
Anyway, we don't have to get into all that.
um,
Anyways, hey, welcome Alberto Daniel Hill, the one, the only. I think your microphone
welcome,
is still
Daniel.
muted. I'm so
I
glad. Oh, there you go.
try. Maybe you can hear a lot of echo.
You sound perfect. It sounds absolutely perfect.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay, I have a gift for you. I need a candle. The pizza is here. It
nice,
only took me like 30 minutes to go and get it outside.
nice.
I'm sorry, guys, for the little
Oh,
technical
it's
problem.
perfectly okay. I like your
Oh
your
yeah,
headset.
perfect.
By the way, Alberto Hill has a Buy Me a Coffee campaign going on to help, you know, uh, asking the cybersecurity community to help fund his dream to attend DEF CON and also be able to talk about his book with people at DEF CON, Log Into Hell. If anyone knows about Alberto Daniel Hill's story or not, just please go and check out his Twitter and his website. The information I will put in the description, and be sure to contribute and help him experience the beautiful, amazing culture of DEF CON hacker conference. It's gonna be great.
Wow, thank you, thank you. Yeah, actually, I don't know what you were talking about, guys, but last time I remember, I was going to tell my experience in prison in Uruguay, and then the pizza guy rang the bell.
Now, if I
uh,
remember correctly, I know that was kind of an understatement. I definitely remember you were the first hacker in the history of your country, Uruguay, to have ever been convicted. So that is quite that is quite a thing.
yeah,
Um,
somebody, suggested that I should apply for the Guinness records, and they, yeah, I
right?
could go and apply. Yeah, it's a record. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. One day in Twitter, somebody asked me, "Are you a hacker?" Okay, well, didn't you read my bio? I said, "Yeah." Are you a good hacker? No. Okay, what was your greatest accomplishment as a hacker? I was sent to prison for hacking. Is that your greatest accomplishment? Well, that shows that I am a hacker. That's my point.
That's a good point.
Yeah, you meet so many interesting people on the internet that sometimes, I mean, you think, okay, I have mental and psychological trauma, and yeah, and I'm on the treatment, but some people need much more than me. That's probably.
So if I remember correctly, we always before I've heard of your case, we used to talk about stories like yours, but where like someone an ethical hacker tries to do the right thing and finds a vulnerability in some type of, I don't know, website or critical infrastructure, and then does the right thing by reporting it and making it known, to said network, and then they flip the script. They're not happy about it, and then they try to press charges, which is, I mean, I can understand, but it is asinine because you don't show that your intention is malicious at all. And that is like your story. And can you, like, now I know a lot of people can hear about your story on your Twitter profile and on your website and in your book, Log Into Hell, and in all the interviews that you have done, which are magnificent. But after being ripped from society, ripped from everyone you love, ripped from your job and from your family, and put into cages with violent criminals. Now, coming out of that environment into the free world after everything that you've lost, how hard has it been to start your life over from nothing?
Wow. Well, it's been completely difficult. I mean, it it's been many years. I lost the count of the years. I was released on May of 2018. And well, when I was released from prison after staying there for 8 months, okay, I didn't know what to expect from society. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know whether they were going to look at me as a person who was I don't know, a monster, or I had no idea. And okay, I started interacting with people, and I was surprised because nobody actually was feeling anything, no no feelings of hate or rejection for society. The opposite. Everybody, when I was telling them that I was the person who everybody knew because the media helped me a lot, was the one who, the hacker who said peace on time, they were like, oh, so you were the one? Yes. And okay, if I was in front of, for example, women, the reaction was either a laugh, please don't hack my cellular. And I was like, okay, don't worry, I will do that. Or look at me and stare. But instead of running away, they would like look at me, and I then try to figure out, okay, I have to ask questions because I'm curious, but I don't know what to ask. And I was like, okay, and I started to talk, to tell my story because they didn't know what to ask me. And okay, nobody actually considered me a criminal, including people from prison, the director of the prison. At the end, they didn't see me as a criminal. I mean, I was a person who ended up there for certain circumstances, but even then, they were able to understand that something was wrong in all that. Okay, I started interacting with people, and after a few months, I started feeling a little bit without energy. I couldn't get out of my bed, and that became more and more and more during the time, to a point that I could stay days on bed without waking up. My mother would phone me, I wouldn't answer the phone, and I realized I was really frozen and started to being unable to do anything. Okay, I decided, okay, I have to do something. I cannot keep living like this. So I decided to seek for professional help. I went to a psychiatrist, and then started to go on a regular basis. And the fact is that initially I was so bad that I would miss the appointments because I wouldn't get out of bed to go to the hospital to have the appointment to meet the doctor. And well, and my mother started coming to my apartment every day. I had an appointment to take me out of bed and
Really?
take me to the hospital to make sure that I was there. Otherwise, I would miss the appointment. And after they started medicating me for 6 months, and I didn't show much improvement. So at the end, it was March 13, 2020. That day was declared a lockout here in Uruguay because of the coronavirus. And that day, I was entering into a clinic in order to be treated for my depression. Actually, after being there, the diagnostic that I had deep depression and post-traumatic stress disorder. And well, they started giving me certain I started following certain medication, taking certain medication, certain treatment that, okay, began then, and still now I am going through that treatment. I have my high, my lows. Um, I cry a lot. I mean, I have experienced that my emotions I cannot hide, and yeah, I have no problem to express that. And sometimes out of nothing, I start crying. Because why? Because I feel really alone, even though there are a lot of opportunities out there. Life has turned into a point where I lost the love of my life, my girlfriend, because of all the situation that was next to me all the time. I was just used to her company. Then my friends, my closest friends actually were the ones that didn't disappear, because there were some that disappeared that were obviously not my friends. I started to not to interact with them, but it not was because they were not wanted to see me. It was because I wanted to be alone. So that started to be more and more increasing that need to have my space, my time, and not willing to interact with people. And well, actually, I have had a lot of episodes where my depression had been really bad. Sometimes I stopped my treatment, and I really felt like, I'm sorry, but I feel like shit. And well, I had to start again from taking my medication on a regular basis.
Right.
It's something that has been for years, but I know it will take me much more. I don't know, maybe for the rest of my life, I will have to accept that this happened. I'm lucky that I have access to a treatment, and many people don't. And well, it's part of the situation. What happened, happened. I cannot change it. And I just have to accept that this is my life right now. It's not the best, but I really think that things will get much better, and all that situation will eventually open me doors to things that otherwise would never happen. But it's been hard. It's been really hard. My mother and I, she's the only person I have right now with me that I interact with.
Right.
Uh, she has been diagnosed with leukemia recently. When I was in prison, December 2017, she had cancer. She went into a surgery and she didn't tell me anything. She did that all on her own. She went to the hospital, she went through operation, through a treatment, and she didn't mention a word to me because, of course, she knew that I couldn't do anything, and telling me that would only make me feel worse. So she just kept that to herself, and she went through all that alone. It's her alone. And
Wow.
right now, well, she has a lot of problems, and it's really sad and depressing. Uh, but the medication helps when I'm taking that. So the answer is it's not been easy. It's been really hard. Prison really changes a person, and it's not you. You might be involved in some physical pain, but the psychological pain, that is the worst. That is, I mean, what you can experience physically is nothing. I had to sleep on the floor for a week or more because there was not a bed when I arrived.
Wow.
Uh, I ended up in coma in the intensive care unit of the hospital because of something that happened in the middle of my prison time. But that is nothing. I mean, the psychological pain and suffer
Is worse than
is
physical pain. Worse than physical pain.
Yeah, for
Psychological
sure.
pain. Yeah. You know, everything that both of y'all have said, especially you, Alberto, it really resonates with me. I may be one of the last people in the proverbial bandwagon to be able to to seek therapy. I ended up developing dissociative personalities because of my time in prison, and I don't know. I just, I had a wife. I had a 13-month-old baby. I had just ended my last day on the job as a security guard to go full-time as a network security analyst. It was my dream job. And it just seemed like everything was going well for me. And then, my own actions caught up with me. And I remember my first 3 nights at Lou Sterrett County Jail. Like, all I had was lucid dreaming of just life going on. Every time I fell asleep, it was life going on as usual. And whenever I'd wake up, I would be confused. I wouldn't know how I got there. And it just, I was sleeping on a concrete slab in solitary confinement. And it was very hard for me to accept reality. And if anybody who reads my court records, you might kind of like see that, like, I'm still in like combat mode. For about 2 years, I refuse to accept what is happening to me. And I didn't have the support of my family. I didn't have any of them except for my sister. My sister, out of a huge family that I have, was the only person who really listened to what I had to say, who believed what I was going through. Like being accused of hacking into computer systems belonging to NASA and Dallas Police Department, helicopter unit. Like my own wife was like none of that is actually happening. Like the government isn't accusing you of anything. Like all of that is in your head. Like she's not intentionally trying to gaslight me, but she doesn't believe some of the things that was happening to me. And, you know, I've always been a lover and not a fighter. I'm a trained fighter, but I am by nature a lover. And so someone like me who was aspiring to go into Juilliard and has done national tours as a concert pianist, you know, I've always grown up as an artist. So taking that and putting that kind of person in prison and seeing someone being stomped out on the ground by like 10 people, having their faces smashed in, like this is the first time I'm really witnessing real life violence. I've never witnessed it before. I mean, I was raised in the Barrio by, you know, the Tijuana border, but I haven't really seen anything like that. I lived a very sheltered life. So taking that type of person, putting them in prison and just seeing apex violence, like, and then learning how to be desensitized to it because this becomes the norm. You know, I didn't even unpack all of that I had been compartmentalizing until I got out of prison. Because once you're in prison, you learn to either become a victim by refusing to accept your reality, or accept the reality and just be a part of it in some way, shape, or form. And, you know, I just being like excommunicated from a lot of my family, like I didn't even see my family for years, and they didn't even live that far from the jail or the prison that I was in. So I was alone. Like there were child molesters who got more mail than I did. And so for years I brooded on this, feeling like self-deprecating, like having no worth, because like a sex offender who looks at children, you know, naked children, can receive more, you know, love from their family or loved ones than someone who hacked into a you know, healthcare systems. And so, you know, as time was going on, you know, I let my wife go. You know, I ended up getting a girlfriend, not someone in prison, just as FYI, it was someone outside. And even I had to let her go because my mind was so toxic. I couldn't do time as long as if I had to worry about somebody else. So I ended up becoming so hyper independent. I didn't need anyone anymore. And so taking that type of person and then, you know, putting them, you know, out into society, like I strongly disassociate. I have multiple personalities, like, and they flip out and you just don't even see them when they're about to happen. Like when I was working on the first chapter of my autobiography, I had a PTSD attack and an alter switch all in one. And at the time, I broke up with my girlfriend because just that's the type of mindset. Like, I don't need anybody. I need to be alone because that's my lot in life, is to be alone. And I don't want nobody. I don't want to deal with nobody. And like, I remember not long ago, I had like a full-blown like panic attack just dealing with my new life dynamic since coming out of prison and, you know, during COVID. Just my mind is like a hand grenade. And like I said, I'm late jumping on that bandwagon for therapy, but I need it because I disassociate. I become someone completely different. And I don't necessarily know how to cope, but I know how to compartmentalize. Like, I've been in prison fights. I've never lost a fight because I'm 5'8". I've always been small. and like it was life or death. I've seen people be life flighted with a helicopter to the hospital, and I would not let that be me. So I won all my fights, and I mean I paid a price. I ended up stabbing a friend of mine. I got quarter checked by two gang members, both of them coming at me, and one of them, huge dude, just he almost knocked me out, but as soon as he hit me, like I just switched, like switches got turned on, and I went to stab him with a pen, and I ended up hitting this friend of mine in the leg, and I hit him so hard that the pen shattered in my hand. Like, and sometimes when I get angry and I start to get into the wrongful habit of like rehearsing the things that I've been through, like that will trigger me into combat mode. And so I do have like these mental checks, like about what's reality and what's not. And it does help exponentially, but it can never take the place of therapy, because I don't have those types of tools that a therapist can give. Like I'm not from really the streets. Like I came from like a typical white family. Like, and I was raised in like theater and music and classical music and art and all types of culture in that world. Like taking someone like that and then putting them into like a gladiator unit where everybody's getting stomped out. At some point though, I accepted it, but because I accepted it, I mean, you had to, but in so doing, you kind of lose humanity points. And then when you come out into the real world and realize that reality that you just spent over a decade does not any longer apply in the real world. And so having to somehow separate myself from the last decade of living like that to that's no longer normal. In fact, that was never normal. Now you have to go back to living a normal life. I struggle because I compartmentalize a lot. But I really commend you, Alberto, for taking that initiative and getting like therapy, because hackers and prison, in my mind, does not make sense. And I believe even Crazy C, I think you tried seeking out therapy for PTSD. I mean, we all got it.
Yeah, for sure. 12 years of hell.
Man, Fort Leavenworth, that's saying something.
Yeah. Fucking.
Yeah, and I have to tell you, Ghosty, I remember reading the article where I got to know you. That happened, I will never forget that when you were released, having a cellular that was with touch screen for you was like, holy shit, I have to learn from zero everything. How does it work?
Oh
yeah,
man,
I mean,
I
cannot
know.
imagine how it's a change of somebody who gets used to something for 12 years and then getting out and the world is different. I mean, what is this? How do I use it?
The first smartphone came out.
Yeah.
The first smartphone came out.
So many things about you, Ghosty, after reading that article. Really touched me.
Oh yeah, on Forklog, yes. Hey, like the first smartphone, I think it was the iPhone, came out in 2008, like a year before I got arrested. And it was not mainstream when I was arrested. And so as phones started getting smaller and becoming like this, like I just thought I was not a part of the sociological, technological evolution that was happening in the real world. I was still like Windows XP, flip phones, and seeing these commercials on TV thinking, that's stupid. Like I don't even like having my fingers on I have to clean my laptop screen. Why now is everybody wanting to touch their screens, get the greasy, like Cheeto eating fingers all over everything?
Yeah, I had a BlackBerry and an iPhone in 2009. A BlackBerry. Remember BlackBerry?
Yeah, I remember that.
A Pilot in my hands, a palm.
It's insane. Like now like these things are like a third wheel in relationships. Like these things are everybody's like addicted to these phones, and even I am. I can't put mine down.
But why do you think all these kids have social anxiety now, bro? They don't even know how to communicate with people in society because they have social anxiety because they're communicating in abbreviations off of devices. They don't even
Yeah,
know
how
to
can you
communicate with
cultivate?
people.
Yeah, how can you cultivate meaningful relationships when you have like 50 people on your friends list and 30 different messengers? Like, no
And 8
wonder people
different
feel
platforms.
feel
And 8 different
alone.
platforms.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? What I thought about prison is, it's more of a psychological game. Like they play a psychological game with you. You know what I'm saying? Like everything they do is psychological. You know what I'm saying? If you're not strong minded, it'll break you, bro. Like we were in prison during COVID, bro. And even I was always in medium or close custody. I was in high security. So, we're always on lockdowns and shit like that, anyways, for riots and somebody getting stabbed and shit like that. But, during COVID, bro, we were getting 3 showers a week. Bro, sometimes in Texas prisons, bro, the plumbing's always broke. It's always like sometimes we go with out water for weeks. They'd have to bring in water trucks for water and shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then the food they feed you is shit, bro. Like all this food that they feed you in prison is like not for human consumption, bro.
I've seen that. I've seen that on the boxes of Tyson chicken, bro.
Yeah,
Right?
not for human consumption, bro. How the fuck? And this is in the warehouse, bro. I worked in fucking the warehouse in federal prison and state prison, bro, and they all have the same shit. Not for human consumption.
So why are we eating it? What's the deal?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
at the end, you get used to that.
He's breaking up
You
really bad.
know that you will have your lunch, you have your dinner at the time, and then you are to prison. Like, oh, what do I do? I mean, young people are not being here. It's what will happen when I get released from here? I have a family. I have to pay my bills. I have to eat. Here I don't have to worry about that. So, and after so many years, you guys, for me, it was I walk in the park compared to your time. Imagine people 12 years. I mean, 12 years having your meal, don't have to worry about what to eat. I mean, okay, maybe the food was not for human consumption, but yeah, it was life. My school at 7 because I had to go to medication at 7. Then I had to go to outside at 8, from 8 to 12. Then they serve the food. But here, okay, I'm like, okay, what? I can do anything I want, and yeah, I don't sleep at night. I sleep during the day. Yeah, wow, it's complicated.
Yeah, like that whole like prison routine dynamic, it is mind blowing.
Well, let's talk about having to readjust to society when you get out of prison. I mean, everybody, like the thing about prison is nobody ever talks about it. Like the shit on TV, bro, is all bullshit. First off, the fucking shows on TV about prison, no, fucking, it's way worse than what they show on TV.
Way worse.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and the treatment, like, on all these shows, it shows that all the cops are good. They're fucking helping people and shit like that. Go to a real motherfucking prison, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly.
The cops do not give a fuck about you. They treat you like you're the scum of the earth. They're better than you. They're fucking, fucking like, yeah. And if you don't do what they tell you to do, they'll fucking beat you up where the cameras can't fucking see you, and give you fake cases to fucking put you on fucking restriction and put you in solitary.
Too. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they do all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But the real, once you once you're in prison and you realize you're not getting out, you fucking kind of like, like you were saying, Ghost,
Become a part of it. You have to
you either
assimilate.
become a part of it or you become a fucking victim.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to fucking become, you have to become a shark, bro.
It's true.
And it makes you turn into somebody that you're not. And then we were in prison so long, bro, that when we got out, we realized that this world is more fucked up than prison.
It is. Holy shit. It is bad.
Nobody cares about anybody. Nobody has any empathy. Nobody has any sympathy. Nobody has any compassion. Nobody has any morals. Nobody has any values. Like, what happened to society, bro? Like, when we were gone, like, we thought prison was fucked up, and then I got out to this fucked up world. I'm July 7th, I've been out a year after serving 12 years in prison. And I still haven't had a job. And the main reason for that is I can't function around this many people after being in prison for so long. I have major anxiety attacks when I get around a lot of people. So in order for me to, and even with my, my mental meds that they give me, I still have major anxiety attacks. They got me on some medicine, but it ain't working. Like the mood stabilizer keeps me from going crazy a little bit, but
right.
I need something else for the anxiety. And it's like, when you get out of prison, what do they do for you? Absolutely
nothing.
They say prison reforms you and makes you better and helps you. What the fuck did they teach me in prison? How to do more bad shit? They didn't teach me how to be a productive citizen of society. There was no prison. There was no what do they call it? Retraining your brain through neuroplasticity. They didn't do a bitch ass thing.
No.
They made you a better criminal. If anything, they made you a better criminal. So then we get out here to this world. They just drop us in the world with nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, sex offenders get more mail than you. You know what I'm saying? Like, how the fuck does that happen? These motherfuckers are fucking little kids and doing all kinds of sick shit. And what?
I don't know.
I mean, I was at a USP, so sex offenders didn't walk my yard. You know what I'm saying? They didn't walk our yard. We check paperwork. So
one of the things that you said earlier was like the transition from that environment back into society. Like there is nothing there to help you acclimate. And one of the things
they say there's all this help, but where is it at?
Right. One of the things that also family members often largely don't understand for people who have been in that environment is knowing like what our mindset is and to try to help us acclimate back to normalcy or what is considered normal. And, when you don't have that strong support system and you come out of that back into this, like you're still thinking like that, trying to pretend like you're not while you're being in this fucked up world.
Right, exactly. And then, I have a support system and all that, you know what I'm saying? I had and I still do, but it's like, they don't understand what you've been through for the past 12 years.
No, they don't.
Absolutely. What you said, I realized that once they put you the handcuff when you arrest you, at that moment, you stop being a human being. You're no longer human. Something
well
they
said.
can do anything with you. They treat you like, I don't know, like shit. You're not a person anymore. The handcuffs are you. Okay, they do anything. You're not a person anymore for them, and I think they enjoy it. I think those people that are working there actually do it, and they enjoy suffering people. When I was in court with the prosecutor at one point, really, I couldn't speak because my mouth was completely dry. I asked for a glass of water, please. I was all the afternoon asking. They never gave me a glass of water, and all I asked was for water. But I realized I wasn't a person anymore. I had lost everything with the handcuff. They don't consider you. Yeah, water for this guy. Yeah, no, what? Yeah, we will give you water. I'm still waiting.
No, we're just like cattle being warehoused. We're just, but the crazy thing is that we actually globally treat our animals better than we treat our humans.
Absolutely. No, I remember. It was in September. Actually, the judge said that I had to go to prison on Monday, September 11, 2017. For me, okay,
remember
September
that.
11.
Wow.
And for me, the analogy was, okay, that was my September 11. It was the day that my life changed forever, and I could see it in front of my eyes without being able to do anything to stop it. It was like a car crash. It was like, okay, there's nothing I can do. So I froze. My mind was completely like I didn't want to think about anything. And as he was saying, at one point you either decide to the towel and don't fight anymore, or you decide to, okay, I will remain and I will get out of here stronger. That's the only thing you can. I mean, the only thing that you can choose is that you cannot have other options. You either crash or you get strong. That's a decision that's up to you. Many people just don't want to fight because they push you to a point where you don't want anymore. You don't want to fight. I mean, you want to end, and it's really hard psychologically during the arrest, during the court, the interrogations. Oh my God, they're able to, and they really play with your mind. Okay, at one point, it's like, okay, yeah, whatever you said, I want this to end. And I remember in prison, before that, I used to have nightmares. And okay, when I had a nightmare, when I opened my eyes and I realized, oh, it was a nightmare. I was dreaming. What a relief. And in prison, I started having this recurrent where I was sleeping at night, and then I was dreaming that I was in prison. And then I suddenly woke up, opened my eyes, and said, oh, and I was about to say, holy shit, it was a dream. Well, no, it's not a dream. Actually, I'm in prison.
Oh, exactly. That's what I was.
Ever.
Yes, that was what I was feeling when that was happening to me. Yes, I totally relate.
Yeah, and at one point you realize that when you open your eyes and you wake up, yeah, you already know you're not dreaming. It's true. You're in prison. And then the noises. I mean, the noises of the
then it's
keys,
real.
all those sounds. You will never forget that. Every time I hear keys, metal, okay, that all triggers in me so many things, and you can't help it. I mean, your brain associates that with those moments, and yeah, well, it's wired into the mind.
It's
But
when you
yeah, you have to accept it. That's the way it is.
Exactly.
when you were saying a minute ago, Ghost, about the animals being treated better than humans. So in TDC, Texas Department of Criminal Justice prisons, the pig farms have AC in them.
What?
To keep them cool. All right.
What?
Then they have TDC processes all their own meat, the cows, chickens, and pork. The pigs have AC. None of the well, now there's a couple of units, but 90% of the units in TDC do not have AC. They came by and temperatured my cell one time, and it was like 138 degrees in my cell, bro. Hey,
that's worse than mine.
And all they do is let you have a fan. I mean, I had money, so I wasn't tripping. But if you don't have money, you're out of there. You know what I'm saying? If you can't buy a fan, I mean, they have indigent programs that give you fans. They got to give you a fan, but What's the little fucking 8-inch fan do when it's 130 degrees in your cell? This is the old red brick buildings that fucking store heat. You know what I'm saying? It's like a oven.
I know what you mean. Like yours was apparently 5 degrees hotter than mine. In 2012, I spent over a year. I spent exactly 13 months in solitary confinement in what used to be a Japanese or enemy internment camp from the Second World War, Seagoville FCI. Their special housing unit is like really old. There's no AC, no fans, no ventilation, and my temperature reading was 125 degrees. Let me tell you something. Like, it is mind-blowing heat where you have to live in your underwear because it is senseless to wear clothes. You try to lay on the floor. You try to put juice bags on your body. You try to do everything other than run the water because it turns instantly into humidity. You try to lay on the floor with newspapers. You try to, it doesn't matter what you do.
You
Like,
can't
have
even
heat
sleep.
rashes.
You can't even sleep.
You can't sleep because you'll dehydrate in your sleep. You'll wake up like about this close to having like heat exhaustion.
Yeah, for sure.
It's insane.
You know, the prison system all around the world is really inhumane, bro. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like, and you know, we live in America. Alberto doesn't, but you know, you would think even in America, people in prison would get treated better than that. You know, they fucking got this facade that like prison's nice and good, and there's nothing nice about this shit. There's nothing cool about this shit.
There was a UN report. I'm gonna have to paraphrase it from the early 90s that stated that the United States operates some of the most cruel and degrading prisons. This is a UN report. I have the direct quote in my notes, but cruel and degrading prison. This is what the United States does, criticized by the United Nations.
Yeah, go figure. And then they drop you back into society, and they wonder why we can't function.
Well, yeah, when we've been forced to conform. Yeah, when we've been forced to conform to the society, like, and then come out, like, I understand why the recidivism rate is so high. We've been forced to live with every type of criminal imaginable, and as hackers, like, we're the most celebrated criminal in there, not because we want to be, but because everybody wants a piece of our mind.
Right, exactly. They want some of my quantum computer.
Yeah, and you have to deal with all those criminals every morning are approaching you. Hi, Alberto, how are you? And tell me, is there anything you can do? I mean, well, how about credit cards? How about ATMs? I didn't want to, but okay, what do I answer? I have no idea. No, that's not the answer. The answer is you listen to them, you don't say no, and that's it. You learn a lot of how to interact with people that are really good at getting information from you and trying to get, as you said, part of your mind. They want. I mean, you are something that they don't understand, but they think you have superpowers. That you're Superman. That you can do anything. And
Exactly.
That is amazing. Yeah, but oh my God, it is crazy. Yeah,
Alberto.
prisons are not for cowgirls, but we end up there. Yeah.
Alberto, I had 2 guys fighting over me. Both of them wanted to snitch on somebody in their case and try to get me out of prison. I was like, that's insane. Like, I don't want to be freaking an indentured servant to you. Like, I don't care what y'all do, but leave me out of it. Like, these dudes were fighting. They wanted to get me out of prison so they could use me in some type of monetary schemes. It's like, no, dude, that's insane. Y'all are nuts.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many people want me to work for them.
Yeah, what? Right?
Shit. Yeah. Check my repertoire. I don't work for nobody.
Alberto, I know people come to you all the time, but like,
hack my Facebook, hack my Instagram,
Oh
No,
cover
my
my
God, bro! Like
Bitcoins.
fucking one chicks wanting you to spy on their old man and fucking hack his account and fucking see who he's talking to and shit. Fuck that. They fuck yeah, all that shit. I want to know if my husband's cheating on me. I'll pay you to hack his Facebook. The fuck, bitch! Get off my fucking Facebook.
Exactly.
Get off my Twitter.
Well,
yeah.
It
No,
was
but
what's
one thing
crazy
that
though.
people should know, I mean, at least for me, people think that user piece on time doesn't matter. It is 8 months, 12 years, but anyone who goes through this is a lifetime sentence. I mean, we have to live with this until we die. It's for the rest of our life. We still are paying for this forever. It doesn't matter the sentence, how long it is. We are released from prison, but we're still having a lot of doors that will not open for us. I mean, our life will change forever, and we will pay for the rest of our life. It doesn't end when we are released. No, it continues. It continues until we die.
Right.
That is something that people may think, okay, he served his time, that's it. No, no, it's not that it doesn't end like that. It continues until you die.
you know,
Yeah.
everything that you just said and everything that Crazy C said, like, I know in our circles on social media, there's so many hackers. Some of them want to become hackers. Some of them are just inspired by our stories. Some of them are seasoned hackers. And, you know, I see what they're doing. I see what they do. And I want them to take note of our experience. Because when one of us goes down and gets captured by the system, like, I know it's like we're going down in a blaze of glory, but in reality, it is nothing like that. It is
Right.
so agonizing.
Right. In closing, man, I just want to tell everybody, support your local hackers, man. Get out on November 5th and March. We'll be in downtown Dallas again this year.
Oh yeah. Tell us about
And
that. We're gonna do the million. We're gonna co-host the Million Mask March again for a second year.
again this year for our second year. And what we're going to do is whatever you believe in, we stand as one, united as one in solidarity. You can wear a mask. You don't have to wear a mask. And it doesn't matter what you believe in, LBGTQ, XW, plea plus, Black pride, white pride, Mexican pride, whatever you believe in, we stand as one, united against big government and corruption and for the people. So be there. Expect us, bitches.
Alberto, Crazy C, I want to thank you first and foremost for agreeing to join me on this anniversary. It really means a lot to me that we got to sit down and talk about our experiences and be vulnerable, you know, and just be completely human with each other and with anyone who's going to see this video. So I just thank you for this, because I personally needed this. I needed this. Thank you guys.
Yeah, it was great, guys. We'll do it again soon.
Thank you guys.
Definitely do it again soon.
I really love you guys, and yeah, I mean, talking is part. I mean, it's a starting point to finding solutions, and that's what we're doing. If we don't speak about this, people might think that justice is beautiful, that everything they see on TV is like that. No, it is nothing like that. The reality is cruel. And people should talk about that without any fear. That's the only way of changing things. So let's keep talking about this. People should know. Don't stop. Create awareness. There is a problem.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right.
Peace, love, and solidarity.
Love you guys. Thank you again.
Love you. Crazy to see out this bitch.
And Ghost Exodus
I
is
love you.
leaving the room. Love you guys. Hey, thank you again.